Glen Greenwald got into a fight on radio, on the air, um, with a gentleman in Brazil. When I first watched this video, if I'm not mistaken, I laughed a little bit because I thought it was funny. And then I started reading into the details, and then I heard Glen Greenwald's response. And I have a different opinion of the video. I'm going to show you the video, and I'm going to show you Glen Greenwald's explanation of it. Now, I don't understand all of his explanation, but I understood enough of it to understand where Glen Greenwald's coming from and why he was so charged up in this very specific moment. Welcome to the Soapbox. My name is Jamarl Thomas. This is the Progressive Soapbox. Guys, if you dig this content, please like, share, and subscribe. Glen Greenwald gets into a fight on the radio. Let's watch the video first. I don't know what Glen and this gentleman is saying, but the trigger word is coward. Apparently, Glen calls him a coward.
Calma. Que isso?
É isso aí.
Peraí, calma.
Eu te mostro quem tem coragem.
Não, você é um covarde, Augusto Nunes, você é um covarde. Que isso?
Calma.
Parou. Que isso?
É isso aí.
Peraí, calma.
Eu te mostro quem tem coragem. Não, aí não. Eu te mostro quem tem.
Peraí, vamos cortar. Cabide, pode cortar, vamos tocar uma música aqui. Não tem condição.
That is just chaos. That is just outright, utter, and entire chaos. Apparently, called him a coward. Now, this guy is Veja columnist Augusto Nunes. Glen gave a Twitter post on this. Now, I didn't fully understand what was going on in this video. I just know that Glen called the guy a coward. And in getting into a fight on the radio. Question becomes why? Why was Glen so fired up in this moment? So let's listen to Glen. And I'm going to read what he says above after I play the clip.
Oi, todos e todas. Eu sou Glen Greenwald e queria discutir, obviamente, o episódio de hoje com Augusto Nunes. E, primeiramente, queria lembrar todos vocês como isso começou. 6 ou 8 semanas atrás, no Jovem Pan, o Augusto Nunes disse alguma coisa sobre nossa família que era a coisa mais feia e suja que eu ouvi na minha carreira como jornalista. Ele disse que um juiz de menores deveria investigar nossa família para determinar se seus filhos deveriam ser removidos e voltar para seu abrigo. Essa é a coisa mais feia porque todas as pessoas decentes sabem que você não usa filhos menores contra pessoas na debate política. Mas a coisa mais importante ainda é que eu disse que ele é covarde. Estou falando isso de novo. Por quê? Porque tem milhões de brasileiros e pessoas no mundo todo, inclusive seus próprios chefes e colegas no Jovem Pan, na revista Veja, agora na Record, que também têm filhos onde os dois pais trabalham por causa da necessidade financeira ou vontade, mas ele nunca falaria isso sobre seus colegas, sobre seus chefes, sobre milhões de...
Okay, I don't know what Glen is saying here, so let's start there. Now, below though, or above, he makes the point about Augusto Nunes and the support of the Bolsonarist movement of the use of violence in politics. Violence in political debate is a fascist mindset and very dangerous for democracy. Now, to be fair, Glen was in the guy's face and calling him a coward. But again, I don't know what they were saying. I would say this. Brazil has had a dark history, especially with U.S. involvement in that country. Bolsonaro served in the fascist government that ran Brazil. And so it's creepy that Bolsonaro is back in some of the things that he has said regarding gays and immigrants. On the other point to that, Lula, who was running in the election, was in prison on a bullshit charge that was exposed by this gentleman, Glen Greenwald. It seems that the Bolsonaro government hates Glen Greenwald's guts. And the fact that they put the last political prisoner, Lula, in jail, or put the last guy in jail while he was running in order to get him out of the race so Bolsonaro could win, I can see being charged up and being, let's say, feeling like you're in enemy territory when you're in Brazil. The conversation that these two gentlemen had, from Glen's perspective, this guy, for the most part, is supporting a fascist government. And the fact that the last, or that it is within living memory, where Brazil was prior, he lives there now. I hope you understand my point. Like, it seems that there are movements that are going on around the world where it is a choice between a left-wing government that is trying to retain a certain degree of order and distribute resources in an even, or at the very least more even-handed way to curb all of this uptick of violence and you can call it wokeness. And the secondary front to that is a right-wing government to do the exact opposite, but at the very least restrain order. Trump getting in office, not to mention what is taking place in Venezuela, what is taking place right now in Bolivia, where the right-wing government in that country don't want to give up power, and what is honestly supported by the U.S. in all these terms. Meaning the uptick of violence, be it Hong Kong, Venezuela, all of these places, there is a movement by right extremists in order to take power. And the U.S. supports it, whole hog. Same thing in Brazil. Brazil has a dark history. Glenn knows it. And Bolsonaro is part of it. This fight that looks funny when you first look at it has undertones to it that are significant in regards to historical context. That context that I'm pretty sure Glenn knows well. Pretty sure he knows it well. I'm not going to keep this long. Glenn gets into a fight. He gets hit. He punches back. He makes a secondary video explaining and giving context that this fight has to do with Augusto Nunes' support of Bolsonaro's and his government. And by the way, journalists being killed in Brazil. One of Glen Greenwald's, I want to say she was a friend of his, but I don't know if she was a friend of his, but at the very least, he took this deeply and personally, was killed. A woman that was in a labor movement was killed in Brazil. And they're making associations between Bolsonaro and the person that was killed in this case. So yeah, this fight goes a little bit deeper than just Glenn being punched. There are political undertones to it that are significant, especially from the standpoint of historical reference of Brazil. Like, share, subscribe.